Welcome to Profit Channels. This is my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor and I don't give financial advice. Please consider this video entertainment. Today I am talking about H2O America. The ticker is HT0 or not zero, O. It's around $49 right now. 3.45% dividend yield, a nice price to earnings. We'll look at that later. But this is a water utility company. We've got steady net income quarterly and annually, and it looks like it's increasing. Again, water utilities, short-term debt's a little high, long-term is a little high for what I usually like, but this is a utility company. Annually, their cash flow is poor, and quarterly. But if we look at the statistics here, so one thing I don't love is our common shares outstanding has been going up year over year. I prefer shares to be reducing, but they're raising capital. But if I look at the price to earnings, right now it's been as high as 86 in 2019, and it's just gone downhill. So this is a really attractive historical price to earnings. Price to sales, same thing. We've been as high as almost 5, and now we're approaching 2. Price to cash flow, it just keeps getting smaller, and well, getting a little bigger from last year to current. But this is historically really low, so I like these value ratios. And if you look at our profitability, return on assets is climbing, return on equity is climbing, and our return on invested capital is climbing. So these are all really positive. Jumping into the income statement, annually we've got increasing revenues. And if we jump down to net income, we have increasing net income. So that's really encouraging to see. If I look at our balance sheet, so our assets quarterly have been increasing faster. So since Q4, last couple quarters has been increasing faster than our liabilities, but our equity has been growing faster than everything. So that's not bad. One thing of concern is if I look at our total receivables, quarterly they have been increasing. So I don't like to see receivables increasing. That means they're not getting paid. If we go to the cash flow statement, cash flow from operating activities has been increasing year over year. So is cash flow from investing. So investing activities is not necessarily bad. That's putting money back into the company, upgrades, it's paying dividends. And then cash from financing, so they have been issuing stocks of share, so they are bringing in cash through financing, but our free cash flow is looking pretty poor. But if this is due to investing into the infrastructure of the company, that may not be a bad thing. Let's jump to the forecast. And we've got 3 analysts at a strong buy, so plus 19 to 35%. And if I look at the S&P 500, so HT0 or O, divided by the S&P 500, we are in this giant monthly channel at historic lows and below all our points of control. So this is very attractive, although this is a pretty bearish looking candle. Here is HTO on the monthly scale, and this goes back to the 70s, and this is just the channels based on the tops here and here. We have a nice midpoint line. If we look at the moving averages, we've been bouncing off the 100-day historically, and now we've broken through them all. and we're approaching the 200 moving average. So we've not been here below this far, down at the 200 moving average since it's been in existence on the monthly scale. So I think this is pulled back pretty far and ready to move up. If I take this to the weekly scale, we're bouncing along the 50. So we broke down and we're bouncing along this 50 moving average and have not broken out yet. Pretty bearish weekly candle. If I jump into the day, we are again fighting with this 50, moving our way down. And I'm going to jump into the 2 hour real quick and we'll see a gap right here. 2 hour. There we are. So now we have this gap down here, which if we fill that, that's where I'm getting in. This is a good looking Friday candle. Today is Sunday, September 21st. Kind of a bullish candle, but we could be going lower. All right, so to the weekly, we've got this channel here that we're working in on our way down with a nice midpoint line. We jump into the daily. We may be having a new channel. If we found the bottom, we could be moving up from here. We could be coming down a little bit to that gap in the 2 hour, but we'll keep an eye on things next week. And then if I go to the 2 hour, let's get rid of some of these channels. We've got this downward channel we're moving in with a pretty good line. So we have not broken this downward trend. So, oops, let me get to the 2. That's the one. There we go, 2 hour. So we've got this nice downward trend we're moving in with a good midpoint line. Something to keep an eye on. We've got to break this trend line before I'm feeling solidly bullish. Back to the week, let's go to the daily. And I do a fib retracement. Maybe I go to the weekly. Yeah, okay, here we are. So I'm doing a fib retracement from this move from the bottom to the top here. This is the last big upward move, biggest upward move. And this puts us right down here at the 1618. And so I'm looking for a double bottom, but it could turn around here. So again, keep your eye on it. The 1 is real strong. Pretty good fib retracement lines. Now if I get rid of that and I go back to the daily and I do a retracement, well, maybe I do need to be at the weekly again. Oh yeah, it's even bigger. Okay, so I do the full from the bottom here to the top up here. This is a real pretty retracement. I like this 236 level. These all look pretty strong, but here's the interesting thing. If I put them both together, so from the bottom here to the top and the bottom here to the top, these things just line up real nicely together. And again, this could be the bottom and we're going to bounce, or we come back and make the double bottom. If I do an extension from this bottom here to the top, We've got 786 is real pretty. 618 is just busy. 0.5 looks real nice. The 382. So again, is this the bottom, or is this going to come down and find the new bottom? I don't know. So this extension also overlaps real nicely. And let me close the older one. So this is the short term, going from the bottom to the top here to the bottom. Let's jump into the daily. Oops. And real pretty fib lines. So, I think this works out better with the double. This is assuming the double bottom. If I move this up, say this is the bottom, it's okay. It's not. That 618 looks great. So this is a reality that could be possible. Let's go into our other charts. So parabolic SAR and super trend of the monthly are both bearish. RSI is headed down. MACD is headed down. Stochastic is pretty bearish. We jump into the weekly. Now we've got mixed signals. Up here, we have a slight upward trend in our RSI, but we're currently in bearish territory. Same thing with the MACD. General upward trend, but still in bearish territory, and stochastic is headed down. I jump into the daily. It's bearish up here, bearish. Everything's pointing down in the daily, and I go to the 2 hour. We've had a lot of flip-flopping here in our parabolic SAR and super trend. The RSI is threatening to come up. Same thing with the MACD, and the stochastic's got room to move. Finally, RSI Bollinger Band strategy on the monthly. We're at our moving average. Money flow index is neutral. Squeeze momentum is less bearish, and ADX is saying no trend. On the weekly, we have been outside the bottom of the Bollinger Band, and they've been cutting sideways. Money flows down, squeeze momentum is down, everything's pretty down. Finally, to the daily, we're moving along on the underside of our Bollinger Band. Money flow is starting to come up. Squeeze momentum is bearish. ADX isn't saying anything. And let's jump into the 2 hour. All right, so now we are at the bottom of our Bollinger Band. Money flows up. Our squeeze momentum is getting ready to turn bullish. So this could be bouncing off here. Again, we'll just have to watch this tomorrow and see if we're going to keep moving up or if we're going to come down and try to close this gap on the 2 hour down here around $46. Steady dividends. So again, let's look at this versus the S&P 500. This is in a beautiful place. I hope you like this idea. I think water is not going to become cheaper in the future. So give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like it. Talk to you later.